Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Morning, Artsman. How are you? Morning, Faisal. I hope you are both really well. Good morning to everybody who might be lurking. I hope everyone's having a good start to their day. Did you have a good weekend, guys? Doing fine for 4:30 a.m. Oh my god. I just saw the last of our visiting family last night. What are you doing up at 4:30? Crikey me. Or have you been awake continuously all night and you're just about thinking of going to bed? Oh, you've been up since 3. Oh my god. Do you not sleep very well? Or have you just always been like an early riser? You have a weird sleep schedule. 7 p.m, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. normally. Oh wow. And you grab naps. I can't do naps. Having naps gives me like a really bad headache. So even if I am exhausted, even if I'm like really, really tired at say 6 p.m. or something, I will still wait until my normal bedtime, because I just know if I try and have a nap, the headaches are just unreal, and then it completely screws over my sleep schedule. I'm one of those people that has to have like a good 9 hours, I'm afraid. And I mean 9 hours. I will sort of be in bed by about 10 o'clock at night, and I fall asleep within a minute of putting my head on the pillow. I touch wood. I've always been a good sleeper and fall asleep really quickly. And then I won't wake up till like 7:30 in the morning. And I need all that time, otherwise I just can't function. But having said that, 9 hours, what's that? 9 is what comes after. How long do you have? After 6, 7, 8, and 8. Yeah, after 6, 7, and 8. I am constantly on the go all day, like as soon as I wake up. You know, it's straight into routine for me. Though I have changed my routine. I did say to you, didn't I, the other week, that I wanted to change my morning routine because I felt like I was waking up and just sort of, once I'd done the animals, fed all the animals and let them out to go to the toilet, that I would then sort of sit down with my breakfast and my cup of tea, and I would just, start scrolling through social media. Well, I don't do that anymore. and I haven't done that for just nearly a week now, because I've changed it. So hang on, let me just see what I'm doing here first. I need to get rid of that pencil mark. I have changed my habit now, and I'm enjoying it much more. I've started getting up in the morning and reading. I'll do my Wordle, because I like doing my Wordle. Get my brain ticking over. And then I start reading. And in this past week, I've finished a book. I finished a book just from reading in the morning, which was amazing, and it was a brilliant book, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Just using the cold grey one. And then after I've read my book, I then do my little Advent jigsaw, and obviously when Christmas is no longer here, I will just continue to read. And then I get up and start getting dressed and writing and doing my exercise and all the other chores that need to be done. Preparing dinner, looking after the kids. Even though my kids are all adults, there's always something going off. Oh, you'll be right back. So I'm just putting down this base layer of cold grey one, and then I will go to the warm grey one after. I'm not too worried about this pencil mark here, because the bit underneath is going to be black anyway. So. Morning, Hayley. How are you? So yeah, so I finished reading a book that was sent to me on NetGalley. It was called Empire of the Damned by J. Christoph, and it's book 2 of his series that started with Empire of the Vampire, and that book was so good. And I didn't, when I first started reading Empire of the Vampire, I had no idea it was book 1. So as I'm getting closer and closer to those last few pages, you're thinking there's an awful lot that's not been sorted out yet. Are they just going to rush through it in these last few pages? And then of course found out that it was, part of a trilogy. I'm assuming a trilogy, I don't know. And I've been waiting absolutely ages, well over a year, for book 2 to come out, which is Empire of the Damned. And so NetGalley sent me a sample, not the entire thing, and the actual book doesn't come out until February, so I've got a bit longer to wait. But they sent me, like, say, the first half, and oh my god, it is just, I've raced through it in the past 5 days. I've only been reading it first thing in the morning, and it is amazing. It is such a good book. It carries on exactly straight after the first book finishes, so literally within like 5 minutes of the first book finishing, it then carries on, so there's not like a huge gap, or it's just so good. But now, because it was only a sample, I've got to wait until I think it's February 25th, something like that, that this book actually comes out. So I shall definitely be ordering that from my my local bookstore to make sure that I get my copy. It's definitely one for the keeper shelf, for sure. So if you like fantasy fiction, if you like vampires, if you like It's very much what I would consider grimdark. So it's more, I don't know, how do you describe grimdark? It's not your usual, it's not like Lord of the Rings fantasy. This is a lot bloodier and more gruesome and what I would consider in your face sort of thing. But J. Kristoff has written the book in such a way that it is such a page turner, and the way he writes, sometimes it's almost poetic. His imagery, his similes, his humour that he puts into it is just so good, because you need those light moments to sort of lift it, because there are obviously so much dark stuff. There are so many battles, there's so many fight scenes, and it's just, I can't say enough good things about it. The book is called Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff, and it's book 2, the first book in the series. You do need to read that first, and that's called Empire of the Vampire. And it's a hefty book. It's quite thick, but it is amazing. The copy that I've got has got some amazing artwork in it as well. I got the hardback copy, and it has this, I don't know if the paperback has the artwork in it as well, but it is just beautiful. The line drawings in it are just, they're almost manga anime type drawings in it, but really, really worth the investment. If you like that sort of book, if those are the sort of topics that sort of get your heart singing, then I thoroughly recommend that you get it. So I've now gone on to reading, I started a new book this morning. I've started A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie, who wrote the First Law trilogy. The Blade Itself, what's that called? The Blade Itself, Because They Were Hanged, and I can't see my shelves properly to see what the other title was. Right, I need some other greys. I can't remember what greys I used yesterday. Let's go with this warm grey 5 and see how we get on with that. just using really, really light pressure here. Just don't want to overshade. Not on this white feather anyway. But it's got a very, very symmetrical face, and so I'm just sort of trying to make sure I get the same sort of shading on each side. So I'm a very happy bunny. At the weekend I managed to finish my latest manuscript. So I put in so many extra hours at the weekend. I was doing like 3 or 4 hours pretty much every day last week, and then I put in a big push at the weekend just so that I could get this manuscript done, so that I could then sort of take Christmas off, well, most of the month anyway, so that I could just sort of relax and not be worrying too much about getting up every day and having to write a certain amount of words. Dark sepia. So I got that done, and then yesterday I had this big box arrived in the post. Oh, sorry, it's gone blurry. Focus, 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 focus on Mr. Puffin. There we go. Hold. So yes, I had this big box arrived in the post yesterday, and it was from my publisher. And I'd been expecting a small box, because this week, excuse me, this week we're having, on Thursday evening, we're having a milestones party. So all the authors that have hit certain milestones, we're having a party. And I'm one of those authors. So well, a long time ago, I hit 25 books. I mean, I've just finished writing book 31. But the world of publishing moves very slowly. And so they're just now getting around to celebrating my 25th book. And they normally send you, Mills and Boon used to send their authors at 25 books, 50 books, 75 books and 100 books. They'll send you a little commemorative pin. And then when they said to me, they sent me an email last week to say, oh, we've sent you a little something in the post to celebrate your milestones. I was expecting like this little box to turn up with a pin in it, and it didn't. It was this sizable box that weighed a ton, an absolute ton, and I was like, well, perhaps it's books or something, I don't know. And I opened it up, and there was this blue box inside with like a magnetic lid, and you opened it up like a book. And when I opened it up, inside was the most amazing crystal book that weighed a freaking ton, with my name, the name of the book, and congratulations on your 25th milestone written on it. So it actually looked like the title of a book with my name on it, and a card congratulating me. And I was just blown away because I was not expecting that gift to arrive. I was expecting a little pin because that's what I'd heard for years and years. That's what I'd heard, that Mills and Boon send you a little 25 books pin. And so to get this, what I can only class as an extremely huge paperweight, that and I think the first words out of my head was, you could murder somebody with this. That's exactly where my head went. It was like, oh yeah, you can murder someone with this, blunt force trauma on their head or something. And so now I think I'm going to have to write a speech, because obviously we've got this milestone thing. We're all going to have to be there with our murder weapon. And I think we're going to have to, each of us are going to, there's quite a few of us. I think there's about 12 of us that have all reached a milestone, or different milestones. But I think most of us are 25 books. And I'm just like, I'm going to have to write a speech. And I'm not very good at speeches. I don't like standing in front of people and talking. I mean, this is okay because I can't see you guys, obviously, right? All I can see is my puffin on the screen and a little square of me talking in the corner, but I can't see you guys. So, not that there ever would be, but if there were hundreds of people in front of me, I mean, I just wouldn't know. And it's just, but now I'm thinking this time there is going to be people in front of me, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to keep it really short and really sweet, because my cheeks will go bright red, and I don't do well with anxiety, and my voice, when you get really nervous and your voice trembles while you're speaking, you can hear your voice sort of trembling, and it sounds I'm going to be like, I know I'm going to be like that because I'm just not good at giving speeches. So I think I'm literally just going to have to go up there and just say, thank you to everybody who's supported me. Thank you to my editors. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Bye. And then go, because I can't think of anything else that I could possibly do. I haven't got the... I've got something in my mouth. I haven't got the wherewithal to write a witty speech. I don't have the confidence to stand there and try to deliver a joke. I don't have the confidence to stand there and give a long speech as to who inspired me, who supported me, all my different editors. Let me tell you a funny story. I know I won't be able to do that. So I'm kind of dreading it, because it's like, it's in 2 days now. I thought maybe with the pin, sorry. Where's the red that I used yesterday? I used it was orange, wasn't it? Orange glaze, that was it. That was what I used. What was I saying? Something attached to my finger now. Oh yeah, I thought with the pin that maybe the publisher or the senior editor would maybe just get up and say something, and the rest of us could just sort of smile and clap and get away with it that way. But now I'm thinking, they've given us this massive thing, and it's just, yeah, I'm really nervous about it. That sounds awesome. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. It's it really has been a long time coming, because you know, when I first got my contract with Mills and Boon, I used to hear of these other authors that had written 50 books, 100 books, and I used to think, how do you come up with that many plots, that many characters? I think I've maybe got 3 in me at a push. At a push, I thought maybe I could do 3. But it's amazing what a contract and a deadline will do to you when you have to produce something. And I just think that I never expected to be at 25 books. I never thought I'd ever get there. And now here I am, having just finished my 31st book. And they contacted me the other day about... they were trying to sort out their 2025 lineup. So this is how far ahead publishing works. They're always like a couple of years ahead. And they wanted to finalise their 2025 publishing schedule. So they wrote to me and said, can we firm you up for your next contract for 5 more books? And I'm thinking, oh my God. How do I come up with 5 more stories? This is what I think every single time I sign a contract. I think, how am I going to come up with however many more stories? But I guess that's why our brains work in the way that they do, because they do manage to surprise us, don't they? Just when you think you can't do it. Oh, I enjoy listening to you talk. Honestly, no matter what you say, you'll do fine. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I don't know why isn't the chat on the screen? There we go. Why does that keep turning off? Thank you. I appreciate that. Because sometimes I think I waffle on. I do think I waffle on sometimes. Right, now. Right, okay, so let's do that. Let's do this beak. So I'm just going to need to try and take away some of the pencil marks without ruining my colour. Last night I went to a class on, where's there a sharp corner? Drawing with pastels. Because I've seen some amazing pictures in pastels and I thought it would be really interesting to learn how to do those. And oh, so hard. I'm so used to doing this and being quite precise, whereas with the pastels, just using some of the ivory here, with the pastels you have to think about it completely differently, because there's a lot of blending that goes on. I mean, I know there's a lot of blending that goes on with coloured pencil, but we were trying to do golden fur yesterday. Long, golden, wavy fur. Like what you'd find on a... Like what you'd find... That was really good English, wasn't it? That a golden retriever dog would have. I will show you my attempt in a minute. It was not very good. Now, long fur is my nemesis anyway, but oh, I've not done the pencil down here. Let me show you. Where did I put it? Oh, it's not here. I'll have to show it to you tomorrow. I put it somewhere else. It's not up here in this room. Let's do this dark sepia bit. Here. But it's a 3-day class, and tonight we will be working on doing a dog's nose, a black dog's nose, and then tomorrow we will be doing a blue cat's eye. But pastels are so much harder, and I was using the wrong paper. So with this, with the coloured pencils, I use quite a smooth vellum surface, it's called Bristol board, and it's a vellum surface, and it's quite smooth, but it has got, if you looked at it under a microscope, it's got quite a bit of tooth to the paper. Whereas I started to use the Strathmore pastel paper yesterday, thinking, well, I like the Strathmore surface I use for coloured pencil, so maybe the pastel surface for Strathmore will be just as good. And it was not good. For me, it was not good. I'm sure there are lots of people out there that love it, but for me, it was not good at all. And it did not go very well. And I thought, I will show you guys how bad it was. But of course I left it downstairs. But I'm determined to learn pastels. Because when you can work with pastels, oh my god, the effects that you can get on the softness of the fur, and the glaze in the eyes. It's just, I mean, because the eyes are the windows to the soul, aren't they, or the gateway to the soul. If you can get the eyes right on a picture, and the nose and the ears, everything else generally just falls into place. And I just think that I need to use a different grey for a start. Payne's grey, yes, actually, yes, I will use Payne's grey. So I will keep trying. I've got the lesson materials, so I'm going to go over it again later today and see if I can do it better at my pace and do it the way I would do it, because I think artists all attack an art subject differently, and one person's way is not the only way. And when I was watching this in-person drawing yesterday, the instructor, she was lovely. She was really lovely. It was a lady in, oh, I've gone blurry again. It was a lady in Vienna who was teaching the class, because it was like a Zoom live. There we go, focus on Mr. Puffin. And but she went very, very fast, because obviously with Zoom classes you only have a certain amount of time, and she was going very, very fast, and she was like, right, now add in the shading and blend that shading in with like a paper stump, and then now use the ivory, and now use the black. And I was still shading in the shadows, and I hadn't even blended in the shadows or then had the chance to go to the ivory, and she moved on because she knew what she was doing and was going so quickly, whereas I was quite nervous and sort of taking my time, because you know me, I want to get it perfect straight away, and of course I wasn't, and so I was getting frustrated. And so she just moved very, very fast. But the class was recorded and put on this special Facebook group. So I'm going to do it again later on today after I've had lunch. I've got an hour window in which I can do stuff that's just for me. And so I'm going to do this fur again, but I'm going to do it at my pace, where I can keep pausing the video and take my time, because I do feel that even though I loved the class, I felt rushed. I felt a little bit rushed. I mean, there were some people there that were telling her she wasn't moving fast enough. And I'm like, wow, you guys must know what you're doing. You really must know what you're doing. I'm just taking my time over this bit because this is the beak, and on the picture the beak just looks so smooth. And I don't want my beak to look grainy. So how's everyone getting ready for Christmas? Are you all sort of like, have you all got like lots to do? Or I think some of you said the other day that you started in like January. But how's the planning going now? We need to put our Christmas decks up now because we feel like we've celebrated Jack's birthday. and I feel like the Christmas decks can go up now because we've had his birthday. It felt like his birthday, and now Christmas. But I think we kind of agreed as a family that this year I think we're just going to do the tree, because the usual routine is that I will say to Nick and the boys, could you bring everything down from the loft? And they hate doing it because the loft is this small little square at the top of the stairs that they have to get a step ladder in for someone to climb up, to squeeze through this tiny little hole and bring down all these big massive boxes. And then I'm the one who always gets the responsibility of decorating the entire house. So I will decorate the tree. Every year people say they will help me and they never do. So I end up decorating the tree. There was one year I said I'm not doing it and I let them do it, and I didn't like it, so I started moving everything. And so they always bring that up, that, oh well, when we do offer to help, you don't like it and you move everything. So yeah, I just putting everything up around all the pictures, putting up all the wall hangings, putting up everything around the fireplace, putting the trim around the banister on the stairs. It's just like, it's too much. So I've just said this year, let's just do the tree. So I've asked them to bring down the tree and all the decorations for the tree and the lights, and that's all we're doing this year. Oh, and the wreath for the door, for the front door, because I like to have the wreath on the door over Christmas. And that is all we're doing. Bar humbug, that is all we're doing. You've wrapped most of the presents and still got to put up some decorations. Well done, Hayley, for having wrapped most of the presents. I think we've done the little bits for like the stockings, but we haven't done main presents yet. I don't even know if we've got any main presents. I think we're just giving money, to be honest. I don't know. Our tree is done. My shopping is basically done, except my sister and brother-in-law. Well done. You're all way ahead of me. You're all way ahead of me. We've been stockpiling pigs in blankets in the freezer for about a month. Because that is like the best bit on the Christmas dinner, isn't it? And we will generally have a roast dinner on Christmas Eve. We'll have a big roast dinner on Christmas Day, and we'll have a roast dinner on Boxing Day. And then you have a roast dinner on New Year's Eve and a roast dinner on New Year's Day, because that's what we're like. And so that requires an awful lot of pigs in blankets. And if we leave it to literally the week before Christmas, they all go on the shelf and you can't get anything. So as they've slowly been coming onto the shelves, we've been stockpiling. Every time we do a weekly shop, we buy 2 packets of 12. And we've got this one drawer in the freezer that is literally stacked with packets of pigs in blankets, because I just know that my kids will go into riot if there aren't enough pigs in blankets for each of those roast dinners. So yeah. But you have to do what works for you, don't you? You have to do what works for your family, and I know that that's the bit that they look forward to the most, are the pigs in blankets. I mean, we used 1 packet of the pigs in blankets because Jack wanted a roast dinner on his birthday, so we did a roast dinner and we put pigs in blankets on there because that's what he wanted. And everybody gets to ask for their favourite meal on their birthday, and that's been a tradition that we've had ever since they were old enough to be able to ask for what they wanted. It's like, you pick the meal, we'll cook it, you can have anything you want. Hello, Mango. Come here, say hello to chat. Mango, come here. Where are you going? Come here. Oh, here's Mango, everybody. Hey, Mango. Are you being a good girl? You're like, what are you doing, Mama? What are you doing? Hello, everybody. There you go. She's going to regret coming into my room now, isn't she? She's going to be like, oh, I only went in there to scavenge what was in the bins. Are you off? Okay. Bye. Drive safe. Nick's going off to his parents. Right, now I need maybe just do a little bit of she's little Terra Mango is. She will, if you leave a bedroom door open just slightly ajar because you don't close it properly and she thinks that there's no one in there, she will wait her time, she will bide her time when she thinks, yeah, there's absolutely no one in there, and then she will push open the door and she'll creep in and she'll head straight for the waste paper basket and she'll knock it over, and then she'll tear her way through it and tear everything to shreds and leave this massive mess on the floor for you to find every single time. And that's what she was just trying to do. She probably thought, oh, the door's open to Mum's room, I'm going in there, I'm going to see what I can get. Little Terra. She is a cutie. She's a little cutie patootie. Right, now, this beak. I mean, yes, it's red, but it's also got a hint of orange to it. So I'm just wondering which would be the best red to do. I think what I might do is I'll use this orange glaze right at the top where I can see the orange. And then there are like orange sides. And then I'm going to use this Scarlet Red to go down the inside, I think. Do I want this red? Yeah. Oh, I heard James's verse yesterday. The verse that he did with Ved for the Mandem Battle Pass. Oh my god. He told me he'd done something like that. And he was like, oh, I must play it to you. And I was like, yeah, you must. And then he never got round to it. And then I was just sort of waiting for my class to start yesterday, and I was just sort of, it came up on my suggested videos on YouTube. Oh my god. That's a catchy little tune right there. And it was, he knocked that up in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And I'm just blown away by that. I mean, I've always said to him that James should write, because he has got a poet's heart. He has got a poet's heart. He really has. And it was such a catchy tune, and it was so funny. You know the bit at the end where he says, Margaret, bring a drink please, and he puts he did it in the posh accent of Vince. It was so funny and so good. I was a proud mama. I was a proud mama. That was so good. Sounds so good it was funny. Yeah, absolutely. Right, when did you want this? That sharp edge. Just making it just a little bit bumpy on one side. Because they have that grip, don't they? So that when they capture the fish, it clamps down and they're not able to escape, so they can present the fish to their loved one and win their favour. And win mating rights and all that lovely stuff that puffins do. I just need that orange glaze back. Where's my brush? Oh, that was something else that I did. This brush that I use just to sort of brush away any sort of little bits of loose colour. I didn't think with the pastels yesterday, because they create a lot more powder on the surface of the page, and I could see it, and rather than just blowing it away or trying to lift it with a bit of tissue, I used this brush and did that and just smeared the colour in like a rainbow across the page. It was not good, I tell you, because I just didn't think about it. So then I had to use my eraser. Just need to have a little bit of black here on this outer edge. Oh, Mango. Hello, Mango. Oh, she decided to wake us all up last night at about, I don't know, it was about 20 past 3 in the morning. She just suddenly, she does this little bark that's just sort of like, dip, as if she's saying, hello, is there anybody there? Is there anyone that's going to answer me? And she did it for about 15 minutes. Just, she'd yip, and then there'd be like 30, 35, 40 seconds. And then she'd yip again, just as you were starting to think, oh, she's stopped, and you sort of drift back off to sleep. And then she'd yip again, and she kept doing it over and over and over. Bless her little cotton socks for wanting to wake us up all the time. And yesterday we noticed that Rosie wasn't quite herself. And she, there was just, I don't know, there was just something not quite right with Rosie yesterday. And we couldn't quite put a pin in it, if you know what I mean, because her ears weren't hot. You know, her gums were nice and pink. She still went on a walk and seemed to enjoy the walk. But there was something just not quite right with her yesterday. And then, especially in the evening as well, she was looking really, really sorry for herself. But she was eating normally, drinking normally. And then this morning, when I woke up and went downstairs, and all I'm going to say is, thank God my dining room floor is wooden and not carpet. Because it was like a swampland of diarrhea. I'm sorry if this is too much. If this is TMI, I'm really sorry. But as soon as I stepped foot out of my bedroom this morning, the smell hit me. And I was like, oh God, Rosie wasn't herself yesterday. What am I going to find? And yeah, got downstairs and there was a swamp for me to clear up before I could do anything this morning. Right, and now I need like a very vibrant sort of red, so I'm just going to use this deep red just to sort of go over the top here. So hopefully I won't be taking her out for a walk today. because I don't think it's not fair to do that in case she has got something that is infectious. I wouldn't want to take her out and for her to do any toilet out and about on the street, and then some other person's dog then gets sick with it. So we'll keep her at home until she's a bit better. I think there's a little bit of just like a little bit of brown right at the bottom here, so I'm just going to use this walnut brown just where the bit of this beak is in shadow. Those lovely colours on the puffin. Right. See, it looks better when the light's not glaring on it, but I have to have the light on so I can see what I'm doing in the morning. But okay, that is where I am going to end it today then, chat. So yeah, pretty much managed to do its head. So I think tomorrow we'll get a start on this black feather underneath, and then once I've got the black feather and the head is totally framed, then I'll be able to sort of go in and touch up any of the colours that I think need lifting. So yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Pleasure as always to have you along for the ride. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Do something nice. Read a good book, wallow in a bubble bath, do something nice, and I will see you here tomorrow morning. So take care, guys. Bye.